I was going to just make a quick video about how to take apart the LWRCI piston system, but once I got in here, this thing is like, it's just wild. So instead I'm going to show how it goes together after showing what the inside looks like. So for starters, I want to make a correction from the video overviewing the gun. This is a 16-inch barrel. It's not a 14/7 pin and weld. It's the IC-SPR. And I thought that I misspoke when I said that the handguard was bolted right to the receiver, but it really is. So those are the internal threads, and the barrel nut is actually right there. They must have a really long tool to get in there. And that's the recess that holds the cup for the piston spring. So I'll show you that guy in a minute. Yeah, this thing's crazy. So let me show you the piston system. So it's a short stroke piston. This is the back piece that actually pushes the carrier. And it's pretty cool. You got this spherical pocket. Everything's real smooth on these parts. This taps the carrier. This is a collar that sits inside that pocket on the upper. This acts as a return spring. So then this has a nice spherical cup that's nice and smooth. And then you got this intermediate rod. Nice smooth balls on both ends. It's reversible. I don't know which way it came out. And then you have the piston. Same thing. Little pocket here. Some ribs for whatever reason. 3 vent holes 120 degrees apart. And then I think I saw in another video them describe these as like self-cleaning grooves. So when it builds up carbon, this will help the parts to work to scrape off that carbon. And then of course the vent holes would come into play as this thing moves rearward. But the craziest part is how, well, you know what, let me see if I can assemble the piston here. It's kind of a bitch to put together. And I didn't look too hard, but I couldn't find a video actually showing how this works. So I start here, put this in, and then I push this guy to the rear, and I fight with it. And then let it slip forward. So this is easier to reassemble than to take down. This is a crazy part, how this rail attaches. Now, there are 2 things I'm iffy about on this gun, and I love everything else about it. One is the fact that it's a nitride finish and it's not chrome lined, and the other is the fact that this handguard upper portion is removable. And there are basically 2 ways that you can get the piston out, right? You can either have a shorter handguard where you can gain access to it, and there's usually some kind of plug like an FAL, and then the whole thing pulls out, or this, removing the top. And I think it's really dicey. I'm going to do a video in the future trying to, you know, with my limited skill, trying to see if I can see a shift in zero. If I zero it, fire it, and then remove and reinstall. But the way this goes in is really pretty wild. So first of all, where am I? See these grooves, these notches here? They slide over these pins. 2, 4, 6, 8 pins, right? And then when you slide those in, these tabs, these tabs engage into this notch, which presumably will center everything. And then I thought these thumb screws, well, first of all, I thought they were kind of loose. And I thought they actually screw in somewhere, and they don't. These little spherical pockets. These push inside of them. They got a clip so it doesn't back out. And when fully seated, these O-rings give you some compression and some friction to keep from backing out. So this goes in easier without these scales attached, but let me just zoom out. So you drop this in. Is this not in all the way? Something's not in all the way. I feel like I'm either too far back or not far enough. I don't want to force it. Here we go. Oh, sorry. We'll back this out. Here we go. All right. So start over. Drop this in, slide it back. And make this snug. I mean, come on, how freaking cool is that? And then I noticed something else. Two pins. And it looks like two taper pins. So that is the most secure attached gas block I have seen on any free-floated gun, other than the Colt, which has that shaved down front sight. I mean, just really, really neat. Cool design, cool manufacturing. I don't know how practical it is. I guess I'll find out.